Hello and welcome to National Focus for Thursday, January 9, 2025. I am Julian Morris. In the headlines, Mas Domnik 2025 to have an impressive opening parade this year. The $6.3 million Chatwell Road project has been completed, and the yachting sector making strides in Portsmouth. The details of the headline stories and more when we return.
I love the freedom when I'm out there. Simply put, the worries from shore, none of that out there. And it's my daily bread. I learned it from my dad. My dad is one of the senior guys here who catch the biggest fish around here. And he's top with the red snappers. It's a family thing. I'm the only one fishing right now in the family. Just keeping it going. I enjoy bringing them up, man. Sometimes you have a yellowfin tuna, 400 pounds. Man, let me tell you, that's just a joy out there. I enjoy going out there and just holding the big fish. I don't lift weights, I lift fish. The morning of my fishing trip, I would get up, make a little spiced tea. Then I come down here. I have my GPS, which most fishermen are supposed to have that. Normally I prepare the day before, because whenever you go out there, you must have ice. Ice is a must for preservation of the fish. So I always make sure I have everything the day before. My fish represents me, and I bring good quality fish ashore simply because the restaurants themselves, they have to show a quality product. Tourism and agriculture go hand in hand, that's what I think. We're all connected. It's like a big machine, and I'm just so proud to be a part of it. My name is Brandon Carlisle, and tourism is my business.
Welcome back. As Mas Domnik 2025 draws closer, the Dominica Festivals Committee is ramping up preparations to deliver an unforgettable celebration filled with vibrant music, colorful costumes, and cultural events that showcase the island's rich heritage. Numerous events have been scheduled for this year's Mas Domnik, starting with the official opening parade on Saturday, January 18.
We begin with the official opening and national parade for Mas Domnik 25, which we will be hosting next week, Saturday, January 18th, in the city. We shall be commandeering the city of Roseau to put on a spectacular, captivating display of Dominica's rich culture, our heritage, and the spirit of carnival for those of us who are here in Dominica and for the persons who are viewing online. So wherever you are in the world, we will be live streaming the official opening of our carnival.
The carnival opening will showcase traditional groups and costume bands from across the country.
It's an island experience, so we will be featuring our Dominica's traditional groups, our sensei, our band move, the lapo cabwit, our bois, all the traditional aspects of our culture which we have preserved, for nearly 2 centuries. A lot of them have been around, some things are more recent, some of them have evolved, but the essence of these traditional carnival bands, carnival activities is what keeps us true and authentic and keeps the eye of the world on us. We have something unique to offer.
Ms. Andrew outlined the route for the opening parade.
We are looking at the parade route we've established will be from Pottersville coming on to Independence Street, and then down King George V Street onto the bayfront where we would have put on a spectacle. So all the groups will have put on a performance on the bayfront. On that scenic view, there will be a stage setup, and we'll have a performance from each group displaying their skills, talent, artistic expression of our traditional culture for spectators here and for those viewing online.
She also highlighted one of the feature events for Mas Domnik 2025.
One of our major events, of course, is in terms of the fests, is Sunrise, which is a marquee event for the Dominica Carnival. So sunrise, it's from 11 p.m. to 9 a.m. on Friday, February 28th, with we have an assorted artist lineup. We, of course, are led by the Booyah Boss himself, Asa Banton, and with bands like Triple K, we have Booyah icons, as well as regional artists like Claudette Peters. And we have artist loading, so stay tuned. And look out for, of course, tickets, which will be available. I see the questions coming. Yes, more tickets will be made available, so stay tuned. We will be making announcements of when the tickets will be available.
The government of Dominica has remained committed to the rehabilitation of access roads across Dominica in a bid to ease the burdens of farmers and improve road infrastructure. As part of these efforts, numerous roadworks are being undertaken around the island. One of these major projects is the rehabilitation of the Chatwell Road. National Authorizing Officer for the European Development Fund, Ms. Carleen Roberts, gave an update on the major project.
Chatwell was a particular case. Initially, it was the smallest road to be rehabilitated. And when we went back in, we realized that there was much more that was required than what was originally envisaged.
The contract for the rehabilitation of the Chatwell Road was signed in 2023, with works commencing soon after. Works were separated into two lots and included demolition and clearance, excavation and earthworks for slope stabilization, horizontal realignment and pavement and road widening, and the construction of retaining walls and culverts.
So the complete works were undertaken in about a year and a half. We had slope stabilization, retaining walls, road pavement, drainage, a whole host of different interventions aimed at the end to restore access for agricultural production.
Ms. Roberts says the completed road will enhance agricultural production and serve as a critical bypass during construction works on the Loubier to Bagatelle Road Rehabilitation Project.
What we now have is a secondary road done, as I said, over $8 million, linking Pichelay to Bellevue-Chopé. These works will definitely enhance agricultural production, but more so also open opportunities in the tourism sector. And again, especially as we just begin works on the Loubier to Grand Bay Road, will serve as alternative access for the residents from the south of the island. So, as I said, government has completed the works on the rehabilitation of feeder roads. Over $20 million have been invested, and we trust that this would enhance agricultural production, but also open up other economic opportunities.
The rejuvenated feeder road also promises to streamline transportation, reduce vehicle wear and tear, and minimize in-transit damage to fresh produce. Tourism in Portsmouth and the north continues to make important strides. Andrew Cobra O'Brien says he is keeping busy with the Indian River tour guides, Portsmouth Association of Yacht Security and Services pays, and Cobra Tours. O'Brien says the yachting business has come a long way from its early days, which were fraught with challenges.
We started doing night security for the few yachts who were there. So we would do by shift. So tonight is 4 of us, tomorrow night is another 4, next night is the next 4. And we stay up from 8 to 12, and another 2 will take from 8 to 12. And during that process, we catch some of the culprits.
O'Brien says his organization pays turned those responsible for bad press about the yachting sector over to the police.
Then we hand them to the police. And the police started a neighborhood watch organization with us on board. And those officers worked with us. And then Rosie Douglas came on board, and he made it clear that the law, that if the tourists are not on island and they are the victims, once their statement is there in the court's registry, they can travel and go back to their home. But their statement will stand as evidence, and these guys will go to jail.
He says dealing swiftly with the problems faced by the growing yachting sector was critical in laying the foundation for what exists today.
And quite a few of them went to jail. Tihani Bihanzin handled some of them. He gave them the full length of the law when we brought them to him. Yeah? Yeah. So this helped to what we have today, where you have all these yachts coming back. And Pace today is a stalwart for all the Caribbean islands. As an example, they use us as a platform to create their own security, especially in St. Vincent, St. Lucia, etc. They invited us to come and coach their guys, to create an association like Pace.
You are watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. Parliamentary representative for the Coliho constituency, Honorable Darren Pinard, says upon completion, the river wall at Gomago, or Mexico City as the area is known, will address the constant threats to the community's safety. The river wall project, launched a few months ago, is being funded through the generosity of the People's Republic of China.
Whenever the river, we have some serious rain, it doesn't have to be like serious rain, but whenever we have reasonable rain, then this river floods and it damages, it causes a lot of damage. The last time we had some serious damage, sometime last year, the river almost went out with that entire road. And if that happens, then the entire village is at risk from that flooding. So this is why we saw this as the critical spot for us to start in this second phase of the Coliho River Wall project.
The parliamentary representative says preparatory work on the project actually started in the background during the hurricane season.
At that time, it was not safe for us to go and do anything on the riverside. So what happened was the guys started working in the background in terms of tying the steel and doing all the form work and the other preparation that they could do away from the river as we were waiting for the rain season to pass. So now that we are beyond the rain season, we have now moved the operation to the actual river bank. We have constructed about 22 of those stores that will be going below the riverbed. As I'm not a contractor, but I follow in as we're going along, so I learn in. So we have those stores that will go below the riverbed, and then from that will form the base upon which we will build and backfill to give the protection that we need from the river wall.
Prime Minister the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit was instrumental in securing the funding for this important project.
I just really want to thank the Prime Minister for intervening on our behalf. He negotiated for the funding for this wall on his most recent trip to China. And as usual, I want to thank the Chinese government and the ambassador for agreeing to fund this. We are grateful, we are eternally grateful for the intervention. I am now looking forward after this to the remaining phases of the river wall, which is lower down. And then, as the Prime Minister promised back then, we will be looking to those phases in the future.
There are plans to increase the number of workers employed on this project.
Right now, it's 8 of us now. When I get to the river, I finish of making the tours now. Right now, I need to get to the river. When I get by the river, I employ more people. I have 8, and it's too much while building the tours, but I still have them because I want to go. I want the flow to keep going.
If the project sticks to its original timeline, it should be completed within the next 2 months. The Ministry of Tourism and the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority have been acknowledged for their commitment to supporting local efforts to enhance the yachting sector in Portsmouth. Andrew Cobra O'Brien says the level of support his organization received has been commendable.
There is no record of thieves, robbery, and none of this nonsense happening in Prince Rupert Bay because we are in charge of this harbor. We work with tourism, Mr. Badwell, Customs work very well with us. Mr. Badwell, very well. As a matter of fact, Mr. Badwell he literally gave us a security boat, our first security boat we ever owned.
He says the experience that yachties have currently is significantly improved as compared to the early days.
Today we've transformed from we going out and do the security on our own as members, where we employ people. We employ security guys, we employ office staff, we expanded our office, we have our barbecue facility because we have to raise money to keep this as a sustainable entity. Therefore, we do a barbecue every Sunday night with live music, entertainment. All the tourists come, they enjoy that.
Visitors from Guyana, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago and St. Martin are among those who visit Portsmouth for the Sunday night barbecue.
That money and our mooring boys, thanks to tourism, who help us. Fisheries also work very well with us. And thanks to them because we have a mooring field which is one of the best in the region. We have 54 moorings and we're still working on expanding. That we use the money to go back to our coffers for maintenance, payments, staff, uniforms, security gadgets, etc. You know what I mean? So as pays, we are proud of what we do and what we are.
And now for today's weather advisory, a weak high-pressure system is the dominant feature resulting in a relatively dry atmosphere. However, shallow cloud patches are expected to result in occasionally cloudy skies with isolated showers over Dominica and the islands to the north of the Lesser Antilles. Meanwhile, a trough is expected to support some scattered showers across the island to the south. Slight to moderate seas are expected during the next 24 hours, with waves peaking near 5 feet. An increase in northerly swells can again be expected during Saturday. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I am Julian Morris. Thanks for watching.